Here in Vietnam, walking to my favorite coffee shop. So I want you guys to walk with me. Well, it's 8:30 in the morning here in beautiful Vietnam. And you have to be careful when you're in the streets. I watched him, see, he almost hit me. I refuse to get injured in Vietnam. So as you see, there's many massage shops. Oh, there's a vegan restaurant. That's cool. Cute baby. I love to see babies. And that's one way you gonna make me smile. Put a baby in front of me. And you don't see as many children here in Vietnam as you do in America. I've noticed that. It's very nice. Look, this is a hotel here. Like I said, the businesses pretty much repeat themselves. We got a tattoo place. Actually, I got me a tattoo in Thailand. My cousin did it. He owns a tattoo place there. So that was kind of cool and sentimental. So go back and see that video. I think it's a short because I didn't do it that long. Yeah, lots of spas, and I'm gonna sit down and talk to you guys when I get to my favorite coffee shop. See, here they have ear cleaning. I was thinking about doing that before I uh, go home. So let's look at the price. Well, guess they don't want me since they don't have it in English. Hi. I was thinking about the ear cleaning. Okay. All right. Uh, what hours are you open? 8:45. You close? Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so that's like about $5, which isn't a bad price. So we're headed to my favorite restaurant, guys. It's it's coming. Today I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm going on more of a fruit fast today. I have fruit smoothies and stuff, and just one protein dinner, but everything else. I only eat once a day anyway, so that's not really a big deal to me. Looks like it's kind of crowded today too. Not too bad though. We'll find us a nice spot. Let's see if I can. Maybe I'll get a spot over here and park my stuff. This little spot here. And then we'll go get. Hi. Hello. I'm gonna have a hot latte, no sugar. And can you tell them to get my whole bean coffee ready? She was gonna make me a half liter to take back home with me. Yeah. Hey, cousin. Hold on. I'm on. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta translate something. Mhm. She was gonna make me a half a liter of whole bean coffee to take back to America. Can you make it for me and I'll pick it up over the weekend? I'm trying to get my coffee to half of it. She was gonna make me, because I can't take that much. This weekend is fine. I pick it up over the weekend. Half of that. Because it's too heavy for me to take to America. Thank you. Half. Either one, whatever works for you. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, cuz, yeah, they're getting, I'm taking, my husband, he love coffee. He love whole bean because we have an espresso machine at home. So I asked the owner if I could buy a bag of coffee for my husband, and she agreed to allow that. So, so yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I only got about a week here, so, and I'm gonna be traveling. So just trying to get everything, set up before I go. That's why I'm getting this coffee. Hold on, I'm gonna set up my tripod. Okay. Set up my tripod. It should be working today. So I got a couple of things I want to do. I want to get my nails done before I go. And get them a different color. Because it's really less expensive here than anywhere I've been. So, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Okay. There we go. All right. It's looking good. So, hey Peter, what's going on? How are you? How are the kids? Oh no, I want it hot, but that's okay. I'll drink it. It's hot. I want it hot, but that's okay. uh, I don't know. This is a latte. I think they just didn't understand me, but I don't want to. I like this coffee so much, it don't even matter to me. I don't want to be like no sad American complaining. So I'm gonna take my picture. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I am enjoying my last week here in Vietnam. I will definitely return because it's definitely one of my faves. I want you guys to look at my delicious iced latte, even though I asked for a hot. But the weather is kind of warm today, kind of look like muggy, so maybe they did me a favor. That's one thing that I want to talk about you have to do when you're traveling to a lot of these countries that are not primarily English speaking. You don't have to expect with them to be a language barrier for them to make a mistake. Like I asked for ice. Look, I'm messing up myself, see? So that's why you gotta have grace. I asked for a hot latte and they gave me ice. But I think that they made the right choice for me in a way because it is kind of muggy today here. Let me show you. They put like they got the smoke in the garden. You see the little bridge there? It's so cute in here. And they got the koi fish in the pond. And yeah, it's really nice. People are... So yeah, very nice. What is that? Tartan Kush? Is that the name of that fabric? Because I ain't never heard of that design. You mean that green and black? I mean green and red design? That's what it's called? Tartan. Look, that's cute. You done taught me something. And look, I was an interior designer for years and didn't know that. That's cute. Yeah, it is. It is cute. They got lots of nice stuff here. And because the seating is very low and I'm very tall, I tend to like these benches better because I can stack the cushions on each other, give me a little height. So I like that. So today I'm gonna do some walking. I'm gonna go to the beach. I like to go to the beach when the weather is really warm because it's a little cooler near the beach. So if you guys hang with me, A little later, I'll go to the beach in maybe an hour or so. And so I've been thinking a lot about different series that I want to do, different things I want to talk about since I've been doing all these travels that can kind of help other people. I've done some videos on safety abroad, um, solo traveling. Always travel like a solo traveler, even when you're with someone. So, that's important. Um, and, keeping your stuff, watching your bag, watching your back. I did a series on, oh yeah, I bet it's getting late, yeah. And you gotta get them boys ready for bed. Um, so I've been talking about, I did a series on, or a video on passport bros, which is probably not popular amongst the passport bros, but who cares? And it's just kind of an insight into SEXism. And extortion and stuff like that. Biggest lessons? Okay, yeah, I kind of did something like to that effect. I brought too much stuff, so my biggest lesson would be not to bring. You really only need one luggage, and if you are allowed to, I would say still bring them, because bring it empty so that you can bring your souvenirs back and stuff for your family. So whatever your luggage allowance is, bring it, but you don't need to fill it up with all your stuff. So I pretty much wear like the same 5 outfits, to be honest with you, so you can just interchange things. And I didn't need as much as I thought I needed. Another thing is about your phones. Setting up your eSIM. I don't like to do and this might not be popular with a lot of people, but I don't like to do the eSIMs on the apps. They just never tend to work for me. So I think that you should get an eSIM, even if you gotta get one at the airport. Yeah, it's a little more expensive, but it gives you peace of mind. Yeah, so you can do that. Another big lesson would be to well, it's something that I could share with you guys. I didn't make a mistake because I did it, but to make sure you have a debit card that can reimburse you of ATM fees, which I did research that, and I have a Fidelity cash management card and a Charles Schwab card. Of course, I use my Fidelity because more. That's probably one of the best decisions I made because they reimburse me of all ATM fees monthly. So it's good to see that money come back into my account every month. So that's truly been, a big deal because you will need cash. And you want to go to an ATM that gives you the most money. If you don't have an ATM card that reimburses you, then it's important that you go somewhere. Like here, I think the max you can get is 5 million Vietnamese dong. So you want to go to those ATMs so you won't have to go as frequently. But I will say that you're going to need cash more. But here in Vietnam, they do accept cards pretty much everywhere, except like, local businesses, small businesses and stuff like that. I think any traveler should carry cash. It doesn't matter if you're a solo traveler, if you're traveling as a family, you need to carry cash. And I would say put your cash in secret places. Like I said, I got a stash area for my cash as well. So if you bring US money, which I recommend you bring, if you're going on a long-term travel, I would say if you travel for 6 months, you should probably bring about $2,500 cash for that whole 6 months. And then that way you don't really need to go to the ATM. You could just go to a money exchange place and exchange your money for the currency that you need, you know. So I would say that that would be the best way to avoid the ATM altogether, if you can. But I know people, that scares people to have cash, you know, because you're scared that people are gonna, you know. But I have some very, very, very cool hiding spots that when I return home, I'm gonna share with you all. I'm gonna share with you while I'm traveling, but when I return home, I will. Yep. So you should carry cash. Another thing is you really only need 2 pair of shoes. I would say 3 if you're a hiker, and you need to bring like some hiking boots or something like that, and wear those while you're traveling because they're going to be your heaviest pair. So whatever is your heaviest pair, wear them, you know, on the plane or whatever. And definitely get you some compression socks, and especially for the long flights. Now if you're just flying for like an hour, like I did from Thailand to Laos, or from Laos to Vietnam, you might not need the compression socks, but you're going to need compression socks for that, for any flight over 5 hours, you know. Another thing, if you're tall like I am, you might want to get a seat in the exit rows. They're usually not an upcharge. If so, it's very minimal, because you're going to want leg room, and especially if you get a long flight. So you might want to do the exit rows if you're doing a long flight. Keep your passport with you at all times. I know some people tell you to put it in the safe. I think that's the worst thing that you can do. Those safes can always be redone, and passport sales are illegal, but they're very valuable here if you can find a passport, you know. So, oh, for a nice dinner over here, I wear a simple black dress, and I could dress that up with like different cover-ups that I have, and things like that. So I would say, you know, make sure you have some slacks. If you're a man, you want to wear like some slacks, and maybe even a nice shirt, a non-wrinkled travel shirt, so you don't have to iron it or something. I know you used to iron it, cuz, so you don't care about that. Hey, Presh. Here about 30 days. Yeah, I've been here for 30 days. But traveling, about 5 months. So, I would say, yeah, that's what I would wear. I would bring some black pants, slacks, because, and then even some black shorts, dress shorts. Those are appropriate to wear here. And maybe like a linen outfit, because, you know, a nice linen outfit ain't gonna never do you wrong. So bring like a linen outfits pretty much everywhere here. They don't really judge you like America, how they have to like black tie. You could go into the finest restaurants and not, you know, have like a dress code. So, you know what I mean? So there's lots of different things that you can, you know, wear. They don't judge you here. But I know that that's important to you. So I would say, you know, a nice linen outfit, you can wear that over and over. Laundry, thinking of clothes, laundry is very inexpensive. You pay anywhere from $1 to $3 depending, and they charge you per kilogram of the weight of the laundry. So I usually wash once a week, so mine's not that much. So I've never paid more than $3 USD for my laundry, and that's for them they use their own detergent, they wash, dry it for you, and fold it. very good they fold it. So, when you take it out, you don't even have to iron or nothing. Um, Housing here. So depending on where you stay and how close, I'm off the beach. So I would consider my hotel to be between moderate and high end. And my hotel is about $500 for the whole month. And that's with room service every day. If I want it, I can put a sign on my door that say clean my room. Or if you want to sleep light, you want to sleep long, you can say do not disturb. I've had a couple of days like that where I didn't want to be disturbed. So it just depends on what you want to do. So yeah, it's very inexpensive to live here. But it can be expensive depending on your lifestyle. Expensive to me would be like the Wink. That's a really nice hotel. And I wanted to experience that, so I stayed there for a couple of days. You'll see a video about it. It's really nice, right off the beach. And I think that hotel is about maybe 75, anywhere between $50 and $75 a day, which is considered pretty expensive, but that's not expensive in America. So you could stay there and the whole month. And they have a rooftop bar and a 360 view of Penang. So, but I just wanted to experience that. To be honest with you, other than the rooftop deck, it's not much different from my hotel where I pay $500 a month, and it's right off the beach as well. So I would say, as far as affordability, this has been the most affordable, and the food is the best. Now I know I am 1/4 Thai because my grandmother is Thai and my father is everything. So we got a mixture of everything in our family: Irish, Thai, Black, Indian. So I would say that I don't particularly care for Thai food. There's certain dishes that I do like, but I would say that the food in Vietnam has been the best to me that I've had, and it is less expensive. They do have more Western choices. I tend to favor Western food. It's just I was raised, in America, and I like Western food, So another thing I noticed here about Vietnam, the mosquitoes are not as bad. In Thailand, they were horrible. I'm still recovering from mosquito bites, like scars from mosquito bites from Thailand. Here, I haven't really had a problem with mosquitoes at all. Absolutely, because that's a great question. My relationship with God has gotten even stronger, and I would consider myself a very spiritual person. But one thing I would say that has changed is I'm way less religious and more spiritual. And I think that comes with respecting others' choices of religion. And I saw a clip, Godfrey, the comedian, I love him. He had shown a clip on Facebook. And it was this Christian guy, the black guy, the monks were doing this walk, and he was trying to tell the monks that they needed to confess their love for Jesus Christ, and what they believe is not going to get them in heaven. And it really bothered me because I was like, you should respect other people's wishes and their choice, And then I realized not everybody in every country is introduced to the same thing that I'm introduced to as far as God and the relationship with God. So I respect other people's choices. Like I still visit the Buddhist temple. You'll see a reel that I did on, I love the monks. And you'll see a reel that I did on the Lady Buddha. Beautiful statue. I look at it like when I go there, When I feel the Spirit of God, and whatever that is to you, and that's what you feel. I don't feel, if God is everywhere, and we truly, truly in our hearts believe that, then we should believe that God will be in a Buddhist temple too. And we should believe that God will be where the monks are too. And that's one of the things, to answer your question, that I think I've learned the most, is that God is represented in different ways, and he is interpreted in different ways depending on where you live. You can't blame someone because of where they were raised, in the country that they were raised in didn't show them what you know. Or you were raised in a different country and you weren't shown what they know, if that makes sense. So I think that my relationship with God and Jesus has gotten stronger. And it's made me have more faith, because for me to witness this and to come to this country as a black woman and to be able to experience what I've experienced is nothing but God. And it lets me know and feel God's favor. And favor ain't fair, that's for sure. So that has been one of the biggest lessons. God speaks every language, that is for sure. And there are lots of Christians. So, in and I probably haven't caught up on all my videos, and I plan on doing that. I have so much content. I got content that's gonna last me a lifetime. But in every country I've been to church, a Christian church. And what I've learned is that people all over the world, Christianity is all over the world, but it's still interpreted different. And I do miss praise and worship in America. There's nothing like it, because that's what I'm used to, So I miss going to Triumph Church with Pastor Kenlock. And I miss, going to, the churches in the hood and praising God, and, and stomping my feet and shouting and those good Christian hymns and but what I don't miss is not respecting the church, like leaving the church and going back to your same bad ways and not implementing it in my life all the time. I think if there's one thing that's changed about me, is that I thought I had a lot of integrity, but I have even more integrity. And I believe that you need to do the right thing when no one's looking, and not just because you think somebody saw you. You don't pick up the money that somebody dropped and give it to them because you think somebody will look around first. You pick it up and you give it to them because that's the right thing to do. So I think that I want to do the right thing and be a good person, because that's how I really truly feel in my heart. It's sincere, because I love God and I know that God has a plan for me. I believe that God has an amazing purpose in my life, and that he ain't done with me. He ain't done with me. And I don't know what my next journey is. I know that I want to be an entrepreneur. I've always been an entrepreneur all my life. I helped my husband with his company, and I wanted to be more purposeful. And I'm not sure what direction God wants me to go in. But what I do know is that I won't do what Bootsie wants to do anymore. I'm going to do what God leads me to do. And that's one thing different, is that I used to act on impulse a lot in my life and be very impulsive. And I want to travel. I want to travel for a year abroad. And that was it. I just did it. But now I'm going to do things with God first. And let him lead me instead of me telling God what I want to do. Because I hate to say that, but I was doing that in the past. I was telling God, look, I want to do this. This was seriously my conversation. I was like, God, this is what I want to do. Help me figure it out. Show me how to do it. And let's get it done. Like I'm the supervisor or something. Like I'm, part of the Holy Spirit crew. And, I'm telling him what to do. And and wait a minute, I had to sit my butt down and say, wait a minute, you are a child of God, and he's going to lead you. And what you do is ask, and you shall receive. You don't tell. So I was a little cocky before. So yes, I'm talking about discernment. And so I think that if there's something that's changed about me, is I'm definitely more humble. I'm definitely a follower of God instead of a leader of him, because I did used to, like anything I ask, I shall receive. And although in some ways I do believe that, I was more telling God instead of asking. I was more demanding instead of being humble. And that's something that I think travel has done for me. And another thing is traveling more alone than with my family. Because I don't know if I've ever talked about it, but initially I was supposed to travel with lots of family. And this shows you how when you make the plan, but God is in it, how he can still transition you. So I made this plan about a year ago that I was going to travel initially for ancestry to see my family in Thailand. So I pretty much told my family that I was going to do this, and a couple of my family members said, okay, well, I'm going to do it too with you. So as the time got closer to September when I was leaving, things happened, life happened, They were not able to come. And I'm not calling anybody out, that's why I'm not specifying who is who. But things happen. So that's why you gotta realize you can't live nobody else's dream, and can't nobody else live your dream, okay? So I was the one that wanted to travel to Thailand initially and then travel through Asia. So I had to be a big girl and say, okay, well, ain't nobody going with you. Yeah, people gonna visit you along the way, and you gonna see a family member here, you gonna see a family member there. But are you gonna go, Bootsie? Or you gonna just stay asleep and keep it a dream? So I had to make a decision and pray about it, of course. And so God kind of told me in the nicest way that I know, you told me that you wanted to do this. So what you gonna tell me now that you don't? I went with what you wanted to do, Bootsie. So what you gonna do? You was telling me. You was HNIC. So what you gonna do? And when God sit you down and chastise you, boy. And I was like, well, I felt like at that time, if I fail, I'm not just failing myself, but God made all of this possible for me, so I'm failing him too. Yeah, he a comedian. He got a good sense of humor. So he was like, look, I'll help you. Because you told me, kept saying it. You told me that's what you wanted to do. And because I love you so much, and there's nothing I wouldn't do for you, and you prayed and prayed, and I heard you. And I love you so much. Yeah, I made it happen. Now you going. Made it happen for you financially. You was able to leave your job of many years and walk out on faith and decide that this is what you wanted to do. So what's this gonna be? Now, I didn't say that I was gonna package it up exactly how you wanted it, Bootsie. I ain't say that I was gonna have your whole family going with you and it was gonna be a total joyous occasion. Because when you pray for something, you need to be specific. So maybe I should have said, I want my whole family to come with me. And I want, everybody to be able to come and travel with me. But I didn't. I had a very selfish prayer. So this is a lesson too. When you pray, be specific. So, I should have prayed that. But in a way, I am drinking a latte, iced latte with no sugar. And then this is green tea they give you with every drink. So, you gotta be specific. So I did that. And, it just really has taught me a lot. So I said, well, I'm gonna do it. I've always been a people person. So with God's comedic ways, most of the time that I've been traveling has been alone. So I have learned a lot about me. I've learned a lot about traveling and learned a lot about myself. And I've learned to be the best version of me without someone else. Because when you're traveling alone, you don't get nobody to say, oh, I don't want to go there. Oh, I don't want to do this. Oh, I don't want to eat this. So you get to make all of the decisions. So that's God's sense of humor too. He said, oh, so since you want to be the boss and tell me what you want to do, I'm going to let you do it all. Now you get to make all the choices. You get to go to whatever coffee shop you want to go to. You get to eat whatever food you want to eat. Do any excursions you want to do. You get to go to any countries you want to go to. You get to book all your flights. You get to do it all, Bootsie. So I found out that I don't really like that much. Yes, I am. Yes, I left it all. I left it all. And it was fear that was keeping me from it. And I might be speaking to somebody that's got fear. I heard a funny joke. I don't know if I can remember this, but this guy had all these doors. There was 100 doors that he had to open. And in each one of those doors was something. And if he decided to keep that, then that's the only thing that he could have. So say there's a door with love inside. There's a door with money inside. There's a door with intelligence inside, with family inside, or whatever. So he had to make a decision. So he kept procrastinating, and so God asked him, well, which door are you gonna pick? And he was like, well, I haven't made a decision yet. So then another year went past. God asked him again, what door did you pick? He said, well, I haven't made a decision yet. And so then the years kept passing by, and then one day God just said, well, your time's up. He said, but I didn't make a decision, God. And God said, yes, you did. You chose fear. So somebody needs to hear that. Because if you don't make a decision, that is a decision. That is a decision. You can't just put a placeholder and say, And you popped up on my feed saying that God led you. Oh, thank you, Presh. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, a lot of people live in fear and they don't make decisions like this to travel alone, even when you don't have your family with you. I got a whole husband and children. So most of the travelers that I see are not like me. They are much younger. They are they don't have children. So I see a lot of characteristics in them that I want to talk about. A lot of solo travelers that I see are very selfish because they only have them to worry about. They don't have a family. They don't have kids. They don't have um, nobody to be concerned about. And so that selfishness don't leave you when you leave your native country. It follows you. It follows you, you know? And you have to think about that. It seems like they're running from something, or maybe they're running towards something. I don't know. That's not for me to answer. But what I have noticed is that they don't know either. And they tend to spend their life as nomads, just wandering, and not really having any destination or purpose. It's like they're just working at different coffee shops, they eating different food, and they on social media talking about how their life is. But when the camera goes off, they sad, they depressed, and they don't have nothing but themselves. One of my friends that I met along this journey is a young lady, and I won't say her name out of respect, but she's a young lady and she's single, and God put her in front of me. And I feel like when God puts somebody in front of you, it's a purpose. And sometimes you gotta say things to people that they don't necessarily want to hear, but sometimes God uses you as a vessel. So she is still young, not a spring chicken, but still young. And she recently got out of a relationship, and the guy didn't want to be with her anymore. So she was really sad about that. And she asked me, if she wouldn't have asked me, I probably wouldn't have said nothing, but I was asked. She said, "What do you think I'm doing wrong?" And God was kind of like nudging me, like, "Bootsie, here's your opportunity." I said, "Well, I don't think that you're doing anything wrong, but I think it's the message that you portray, because you're a single woman and you're not stationary. If you keep moving, what does that say to a man that wants to have a long-term relationship with? I mean, you can go to another country, you probably got a whole different family there, or you can meet someone else, or have a boyfriend in this continent, or a husband in this one. And it's not really stable, not for a woman." And I had to share that with her in more of a detailed conversation that I'm sharing with you, but you get it. And that really, really helped her. And she told me that she's going home soon. And she said, "I'm gonna sit down." And I said, a man that finds a woman finds a good thing, not a woman that finds a man. So you need to sit down somewhere. And it was hard for me to say that to her. But traveling, to me, and this is just my opinion, it can be very masculine. And I mean that with all due respect, but when you're a solo traveler, you're a woman, the whole backpack carrying luggage around, it's all very masculine to me. And I pride myself in being a very feminine woman. And like I said, unlike a lot of travelers, I'm married, I have children, and it's a very masculine thing. That's why I didn't plan on traveling solo. I didn't. I was planning on have a family with me, men with me, you know, but the masculine part of me said, oh no, I ain't gonna let that defeat me and I'm gonna go on alone. But I am the one to tell you that I need a man more than anything. I need my husband, I need his touch. I need to be hugged and kissed every day. I need to feel that masculine energy near me. And when you've missed that, oh my God, it has done nothing but strengthen my relationship with my husband. We yearn for each other and we love each other. And it's made me want to be more feminine and want to cook dinner for him every day and want to not hire a housekeeper anymore and clean my own house and, want to wear heels. Things, I've been wearing sandals for months. And even, although I wear dresses, I try to wear a dress at least twice a week because it makes me feel feminine. I still got to carry a backpack. I can't wait to put this backpack up, y'all, and be the lady that I am. And my husband can't wait for that either. My children can't wait for that either. And I just think that that's something I've learned more than anything. And I do want to do a video about that because I think that a lot of women may agree with me, but they might not want to say it. But traveling is very masculine. You know what I mean? I see these women, and nothing, I'm not knocking anybody that rides motorbikes, but I ain't sitting and putting the front of my body on the back of somebody's butt that ain't my man. Something about that seems intimate to me. And I just don't want to do that for my safety. I mean it as a joke, but I mean, it's the truth. And to each his own. And I understand that the rides are less expensive. And, but I cannot, at least in a car, if something happens, I got a better chance because I'm kind of caged in. But I'm already entrusting somebody driving me around. But with nothing around me, I just can't put my trust in nobody like that, only God. But I just don't like the idea of riding on a bike with somebody in front of me. What if I have a nervous reaction and it affects them? If I have a nervous reaction in the car and I cough or I sneeze or I, jerk, it's not going to affect the driver like that, So that's something that bothers me too, is the whole motorbike thing. I miss, like I said, praise and worship, the way that I know it, and in the country that I know it. A lot of content creators that are over here, they try to sell you to leave America and come abroad. I don't think this is really no different than America, other than, you had a little crime and things are less expensive, but love isn't here for me. My family isn't here, so those are important to me. So I'd rather take those high prices, $100 an hour massages, over $10 an hour massages anyway, any day, because that's where the love is for me. All my family, or most of my family, is in the family that's over here that I've met. I want to grow that relationship, and if they want to come to America, which some of them do, I welcome them and I will host them there. But can't nothing beat home. I don't care wherever that is for you, if that's Switzerland, if that's Africa, if that's, Europe, wherever that is for you, it's home. And so I miss America. I miss the food, I miss the people, I miss a lot of the things. I miss people saying what up doe to me, because I'm from Detroit and that's what we say. I miss all of that. And it's a beautiful thing. It is a privilege because some folks don't have a home, and I've also seen things that I want to do in America that here has given me ideas Like I'm telling you, cause me and you, it's something that we should do. We should do a budget buffet. They have buffets here that you don't have to pay if you can't afford it. But me as someone that could afford it, I could pay 3, 4, 5 times what the suggested cost is to pay for someone that can't afford it. And I think that's a great way to combat homelessness or people that have food insecurities. You know, um, just to have a buffet where you could just have soup with rice and chicken, a big old pot, and you pay, and you might not even eat. Isn't it an excellent idea? And I think that's something that we can do in America. They don't have any there. They have them here in Asia. And that's an idea that you can wash, rinse, repeat it in different industries. You know, it just don't have to be food. I mean, it could be for anything. You know what I'm saying? You could, buy a car and pay $500 more to help $500 towards somebody else that can't afford it. It could be to buy a house. You can say, look, instead of me putting $10,000 down or $20,000 down, I put 19 down and 1,000 I put in this organization to help someone less privileged. It can be so many industries. That's what I mean. I'm thinking of doing a business consulting coaching company to help people that want to start small businesses, because the mecca of Asia is small businesses. They run these countries over here. I mean, like I said, a business in front of a business. You got a big old hotel, and in front of it, they got a coffee cart. A cart. Somebody handmade a cart. And they let them use their electricity inside of the hotel. And they plug up the espresso machine, and they thriving. They're thriving. They selling fruit outside of a big old establishment. And that establishment ain't hating on them. They helping them. What you need? If you need an umbrella because it's raining to cover your business with, we'll give you an umbrella. You know, it's such love. And I want to spread that. I want to be able to do something for people that don't have. Because in America, we don't help nobody. And then you got YT women talking about people that are on food stamps because they're buying things that are not nutritional. Well, maybe they don't know what's nutritional. Maybe we need to educate people. And you know what? More YT people are on food stamps than anybody. Women, 6.8 million are on food stamps. Only like 4 million are black and 3 million Latino. So you tell me who it's affecting when they cut those benefits. And I don't care if your reason is to get you to a better place because you lost your job and now you need those. That don't make it better because your reason is different. That don't make you no better because you lost your executive job and now you need food stamps for a small period of time to help your family, and somebody has been on it for generations. That don't make you no better. You still need that benefit. So, I've learned so much about judgment. Don't judge people. Don't judge me. I've met people that are multi-millionaires here that you would not even think are. And I've ate with them and talked to them, and they've given me business ideas that I want to bring to you guys. So I'm thinking about doing small business coaching. And I've had my husband, I run my husband's business. He's had his business for 40 years, going his 40-year anniversary this year. And when I married him, I married into his business, and I've run his business. I had all businesses all my life. So I want to share that, plus what I've learned abroad. And I believe with all that knowledge, I can help people to figure out what they want to do. Because sometimes people, they know they want to be an entrepreneur, but they don't know what they want to do. And they need some guidance. And I can do that, and I wouldn't charge a lot. I would make it reasonable for people, but you know. Yes, I totally agree. You know I agree with that, cuz I believe that. I believe they can, because I'm telling you, a lot of talent is with people that were incarcerated. People that were incarcerated, that would be great for recidivism. And um, they can cook, okay? They was cooking in the kitchen. A lot of them, they have even classes when you're incarcerated that you can become a chef while you're incarcerated. And you know, the stuff that they can make with them microwave dishes and stuff. Yes, cause we could do that. Let me know if you want to partner and do something like that. Because all we need is a pot of food. We could even do it outside. It ain't even, we could do it in the summer and do it outside of the park. It don't have to be, what I've learned about here, we think of business in terms of brick and mortar all the time. That's as far as our minds will allow us. We don't think that you can do a business for free. You could do it on your porch if you wanted to. They can't stop you from having a home business. If you wanted to do a business on your porch and have a soup kitchen, you could. And couldn't nobody stop it. So I really think that this is a great idea. We could do it at a park. My high school, Martin Luther King High School, they would let me do that. And we can have anybody, and then we can have people that can afford it to pay for that. And then that money that we get can go for our staff. Yes, we can use it. And like, if you want some food, if you hungry, come eat. You could pay from zero to whatever you want to pay. And if you got extra, because when I went to this one of these buffets, I didn't even eat. And I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna do a video on this buffets too. I got so many videos. I got hundreds of videos that are waiting to do, because it's important that you slow roll it. I don't want to dump all these videos because then they're not gonna have any meaning. But if you could, if you could just do, if you could just have a place that you set up shop, you can have different locations. That's the beauty of this. And what I've learned here in Asia, you ain't gotta just have, because brick and mortar kind of limits you, because then you only got that one place that you can do stuff at, right? But if you have a cart or something like that, you can go anywhere. You could go anywhere. I could set up shop at my old high school because I'm an alumni. Martin Luther King, they got a big old field, and I could have all my friends make dishes. Make your favorite dish. And we'll have a different entrees. We'll have a suggested donation amount. And we might say, we suggest that you donate $10. Some people might not want the food. They say, package mine up and give it to somebody else. Or they say, I just want to donate. And then you might have a line with 100 people that ain't got no money. But you have the people that have pay for the people that have not. The haves pay for the have-nots. Maybe that's a good name, I don't know. Have-nots, I don't know. Whatever. And then we can even have discretion, where we can just have it where people put something in there, or we can have a token where maybe they put something inside just so people don't know, just for their own business. But it's just so much that people need in this world. And we can do that with so many industries. You could do that with clothes. You could do that with just about anything that you could think of. You could do that with, say, it's daycare. You could say daycare is too expensive. Daycare is expensive. We can have the parents volunteer an hour. Say at your own child's daycare, volunteer an hour to help. That wouldn't be something that we could probably use with ex-offenders, but the people that have their children there, they can volunteer for an hour, and then we can afford to give someone that can't afford it, or kind of maybe can afford it, but not so much. If you're making like minimum wage, but you need somebody to watch your child for a few hours, It could be a place where the community could, help out. There's so many industries. This could be a wash, rinse, and repeat thing. And I know a lot of people aren't there with the mindset, but I really do think that it's something that we could do in America. I really do. And I'm going to get something together like that. I also have an idea of volunteering abroad in exchange for accommodations. And I know that there's one organization that does that now, and I volunteer for them. And I think I could do it better. So I think that people want to volunteer and work different places abroad. So we can do this in exchange for, they'd have to get their own visas and all of that. But say I have a coffee shop here and I just want somebody to maybe tidy it up a little bit. I can't really afford to hire another employee to do that. But I can have someone from a different country come, and in exchange, oh, it looks like it's about to rain, y'all. They got the roof coming over my head. I don't know if you saw that slide. So, yeah, we do need an app developer. Work on that, cuz. So, we can have different companies that need help and that can't afford to hire another person, but they do have a sleeping accommodation. Maybe they got an extra room in their home that they could give someone to stay, and they could provide a bathroom, a private room. They could share their kitchen with them so they can make their own meals, and they can provide meals at their restaurant establishment. Maybe they'll provide 2 meals a day, and then they're free to get 1 meal on their own. Or they can use their skills. Maybe they can teach their staff English. They could provide 3 hours a day of English tutoring to their staff in exchange for accommodations. There's a lot of people that want to travel and can't afford it. So I've got some pretty clever ways that they can do this. And I'm not worried about nobody stealing these ideas, so I'm not worried about none of that, because if you want it, do it. Don't just listen. If I cared about that, I wouldn't be saying it on social media. I want you to do it. But mine is going to be faith-based, because anytime you got God behind something, it's always better and it's always best. But I think that that is something that I really want to do. It would help small business owners. It would help people establish their business, and it's just a great opportunity for people to learn about different cultures and immerse themselves in the culture and meet new people and enrich their lives, And so that is a beautiful thing. So, yeah, there's so many ideas and so many things, and you do not need much. You do not need much. I'm partnering with a company out here that does modular homes. I've been really blessed to meet a lot of business owners, and I went to Ho Chi Minh City, formerly Saigon. I met with this company just on a hunch, and sent them an email and told them that I loved their product and I was interested in having it in America. Bam, that quick I got me a job. See, you never know how God gonna work it out. But anyway, they have excellent products. They make like ADUs, which are additional dwelling units. A lot of people in America could benefit from that. You can have an ADU in your backyard, and you can have your own business back there. You can have, I was thinking of doing, I love to draw. I was thinking like doing like an art and sip type thing where people could draw different things and have like parties. And I may just do this in the summer, because you don't have to have an all year round business. That's another thing I realized. You can have something that's just seasonal, and you can make a lot of money just in the summer and spring months, and it'll take you through the rest of the year. So I was thinking about having something outdoors where we can draw, sip and see, you know, and we can bring your own wine and bring your own, and then I got all the paint, I got the canvases and the easels, and you know they can either be guide driven on what you need to do, or you know, me as an artist, I can show people. I taught art, so I can show people some different things that they can do that are easy, that are, you know, friendly for beginners, and it would be fun. Just imagine a whole bunch of drunk people drawing. You can't. That ain't nothing but fun. And it don't matter where the paint go. If it get on you, or if it get on the ground or nothing. It's just a free space. That is therapeutic. And I did a program at the church for art therapy for years. Yes. Oh, you purchase it? Yes, I have some original pieces. Yes, I do. Yes. Yes, I do. I don't sell it pretty much, though. I give it away. I'm kind of lame when it comes to that. But when I go home, I'm going to do a lot more art because traveling has inspired me to do some Asian-inspired art as well. So I will be doing that. But yeah, I would like to do something like that. I love art, so I want to do an art business surrounded by art. And I think like something like that where you could just draw and have a party, have like, say if it's like all your girlfriends, I could imagine seeing all your girlfriends. No, not request pieces, because I have to draw something that is personal for me, and I have to be inspired with art. So I do things that I want to do, and if it's no connection to me, then I really don't have any desire to do it. And, you know, but I do have some pieces, and I think I don't know if I have any on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna look and see, but I've done lots of pieces. My cousin, Movie Justin is my cousin, and he knows about my art. And I do a lot of African-inspired art, and I will be doing some Asian-inspired art. So yeah, I kind of keep it to that because it has to speak to me, you know. Because people that have you drawing skulls and bones and blood and guns, and that ain't me, you know what I mean? So art is very personal, and it is a representation of you. So I'm not one of those artists that can be bought, if you know what I mean. Yeah, they will. They have you drawing stuff that you don't believe in, you know what I'm saying? And if they can request it, yeah, you know, that's not my thing. It looks like it's gonna rain, guys. But the rain ain't never killed nobody. So one thing about me, even with this hair, I've learned I don't mind walking in the rain. I can always wash my hair if I need to. You from Minnesota? Okay, Arizona is nice. Oh, snow pieces. Oh, no, I can do some snow pieces. Now that we can work out. I have done some snow pieces. Oh, Arizona is nice. It's kind of dry there, though. But I want to move anywhere that got some mild weather. You know what I've been thinking about, cuz? I've been thinking about North Carolina and South Carolina, because me and John are thinking about where we're going to retire. So I'm thinking one of the Carolinas. That's been top on our list. Maybe South more than North, because I want more of a rural area where I can build. And I'm thinking of doing one of these modular homes from the manufacturer that I met with here. So So what do you love most about Arizona? I definitely will. I definitely will. So I know you gotta love the wet weather. Now I have allergies. I would like to know in Arizona, do they still have like a lot of people with seasonal allergies? Because I've noticed that since I've been here in Vietnam, and my allergies have not bothered me as much. And I'm wondering when I return home if they're gonna return, probably. But I did get some medicine that I really like here. I'm hoping that I'm able to get it in America. It's called Tail Fast. And so I've been taking that every day. And come to think of it, I didn't take it today. So I'm hoping that it'll work in America. I've been here for 12 years. Really? Well, can you give me a job, Presh? I'm gonna probably need one when I come home because I need some benefits for my family. I've only worked in my life for benefits, never for the money. I've always had my own business, but what I've not learned about being an entrepreneur is that, I mean, I pay a lot of money for insurance, and sometimes it supersedes my salary. So figured I might as well work and get benefits for my family. So that's why I work, and I think that I'm gonna do that. Right? Your daughter's allergies, asthma. Oh, okay, so that's good to know. Okay, so the drier weather probably helps the. That's what I was thinking. Okay. So what industry are you in, Presh? What? I've got such a diverse background. I could probably do everything. I've done consulting. I've been an interior designer for Curtis Kitchen. I designed kitchens for years. I've been a teacher, an algebra teacher. I worked been an end-of-life midwife. I worked in funeral sales. I designed mausoleums, so a lot of art involved in my careers. I designed private mausoleums and sold crypts and plots and everything. So I've got a very diverse background of sales, design, teaching, management, you name it, I've done it. I worked for the Archdiocese. Tri-West. Oh, the Department of Defense. Oh, really? Well, I got a background in customer service too, so hey, you never know why God put us together. When you said the Department of Defense, I got scared. I'm like, well, I ain't defending nobody now, but I get it, the customer service part. I'm like, look, I don't want to have to carry no weapon or not. But that's great. That is great. That seems like a great career. I'm sure they got excellent benefits. A lot of people don't realize that. You know, sometimes the benefits in a job are just as important as the salary. I've taken jobs for less money because of the excellent benefits. Because benefits are important, especially the older you get, you know. I'm 52 now, so I ain't no spring chicken. So and I'm relatively healthy, you know. I don't really have any pre-existing conditions other than eczema, if you want to call that a condition. But, you know, and I'm grateful for that. But Um, when you get older, you think about that. And me and my husband, we spend roughly about $3,000 a month just for insurance for our family. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know you do, cuz 401k and healthcare. I know your situation, and it's a smart move because, and that's why I'm looking for something like a big company. I want to work for like maybe Blue Cross Blue Shield or something. I've applied for those kind of companies just for the benefits. And I ain't trying to. If I work for Ford, I don't want to work on the line, and then I just want some kind of administrative type job. Yeah, there's a lot to spend. That's what I'm saying. I'd rather be earning a salary and then it paying for that than just paying it. You know what I mean? So that's why I kind of want to get a job when I come home, just for the benefits. So I've been looking, you know, and a lot of partnerships that I form are 1099. So, it doesn't include benefits. So I still have, even though you tend to make more money, but even if you're making like $12,000 a month, when you gotta give $3,000 of that for benefits, it's still a lot. I'd rather, make $12,000 a month in salary, and my benefits are included, which is definitely possible. Man, this coffee's strong, but that's because I don't have sugar in it. But I think another benefit, since we were talking about benefits, is health. I'm not even sure how much weight I lost because I don't measure my success by the scale. But I would say I at least 20, 25 pounds. It's safe to say that. But more importantly, I feel better. I have much more brain clarity, and I just feel more youthful. I feel like maybe when I was in my 30s, because I walk like, I'm going to say on average about 7 miles a day. One day I walked 25 miles and didn't even realize it. I was so shocked, and I looked at my ring, I was like, wow. But that's because I walked for like 6 hours. I was just walking around, and part of the time I was talking to you all. And then I went to the beach, and I walked the beach, and then I walked home, and then I left, and it's like, wow. But between those walks, I got massages, and I realized that helps with my health regimen. Thank you, Presh. Thank you so much. You have a good evening as well, and I hope to see you again, and God bless you, and thank you so much. And when I get that, when I get home, I'll have to wait till I get home to get that picture. I'll see if my husband can find it, and then I'll send it to you, tag you in it. Yeah, but yeah, I learned that cause that I just feel so much better. I feel, think that that's one of the reasons that I came here, was to get healthier, because that's been one of the best benefits. Is my brain got healthier, and my body got healthier, and my spirit. So I think health was the reason. Yeah, I do. My necklace even hang lower, so that must mean that my neck got smaller, because this necklace didn't used to come right here. It used to sit more up here. It's just something I noticed. so, so, I don't got two necks no more, I guess, So, it's just things like that I've noticed. My skin has gotten clearer. I still got eczema, I actually went to a dermatologist here, and I got some really good cream, and it seems to be helping a lot more with my breakouts. You know, I get them just mostly on my legs, and then I got my finger, but they seem to be getting a lot better. And that has to do with, you know, fasting. I eat once a day, and I don't really drink nothing but smoothies, green tea, and water. I don't think it's going to change. I've been doing intermittent fasting for a very long time, so the only thing that will change is for the better. I know that me and my husband, we still do challenges with each other while we're apart. So like we do 30 days, just veggies and protein. We do one meal, do veggies and protein, and then we can have fruit once a day. So we'll still do these challenges together, of course. So we both, you know, worked on that. And I think it's good when you have a partner that's on the same page. And we have similarities when it comes to our diet. So that helps. So I really don't think nothing will change because I have changed. So I will seek out those fruits and vegetables that I like. You know, as long as they got a Whole Foods, and I'm gonna try to get more stuff with seeds in it. I know it's harder to come by in America, but I'm gonna try to get more fruits with seeds in it, which you can't. And seeded stuff is more expensive in America, but I'm gonna get seeded watermelon. Watermelon is one of my favorite and a very good fruit to have. So I do watermelon fast all the time, you know that. So I'll do watermelon smoothies, and I'll continue to do those things. And I think I'm gonna bring a lot of Asia with me as far as my diet, so that may change. I like and I recommend to people that they do veggie and protein for 30 days because that resets your body. So if you, the way I do it, like if you look at a plate, it's round. So I do 1/4 protein. So I don't care what that is, salmon, tuna, chicken, whatever. And then the rest of the plate, veggies. Now whether that is a salad or grilled vegetables, that's totally up to you. But no potatoes or nothing in there, you know, just all veggies. So you can kind of load up. And even if you want like a whole plate of salad, or you can even do soup, like I do like a chicken soup, and you can put like your veggies in there. So you can do cooked vegetables, or you can do dry vegetables. And you do that for 30 days, and just try to stick to that. You'll notice a difference, not just in your weight, but your overall health. And that's the truth. And in that day, and like I said, I do one meal a day, so I try to fast for 24 hours. So I give myself a 3-hour window. So say my window is from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. So at 5 o'clock, I'll eat my one protein and my veggies, which is delicious. And then you can make your own vinaigrette. If you do a salad, you can make your own vinaigrette salad dressing, like some balsamic dressing and some vinegar and some raspberries or strawberries or blueberries, and blend it all together and pour that on your salad. Ooh, so good. And then you can do you like some chicken or whatever. Just make sure it's organic. Try to eat something that's not processed. And then right maybe an hour before you turn in for the night. Make sure it's an hour before, because you don't want to sleep with food on your belly. You need to eat you like a cup of fruit. So you can get like some watermelon or mixed fruit, whatever you choose. And just make it a small quantity, not a lot. Make a nice little bowl or something, small bowl. You do that before you go, and then you will satisfy your sweet cravings if you have them. And then the last thing you do is drink you some water or green tea. You do that in the morning, you're gonna pass it through. So you're helping your digestive system. And you just do that over again. You'll notice when you fast, you're not as hungry. So you can go all day without eating. Now, it takes some training to do that. So what I would suggest you do is start with an 8-hour window. Just eat within an 8-hour window. So like some people do 11 to 7. That's really popular, where they eat between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. So you'll pretty much sleep away most of your time, but you'll have to wait till 11 o'clock to eat. And then you can eat, lunch, and then maybe you can eat another snack and dinner. And then slowly you close that window. So then you might do 11 to 6. And you might do 12 to 6. And then you might do 12 to 5. And then you might do 1 to 4. And then you might do 2 to, you can change the hours. So, that's just a suggestion, but I'm going to tell you, intermittent fasting saved my life because I am a person that had diabetes. And I say had because I don't have to take no medication no more. And that's usually unheard of, especially in the black community. But my blood sugar was, I think the highest it was like my A1C was like a 10 something. So I could have went into a diabetic coma. And so my doctor, Dr. She, God bless her soul, she was an intern, and she diagnosed me with as being pre-diabetic. And she said, well, at this time you can turn this around. She says, but you probably won't. Most people don't. And so she told me, she said, it's going to take some change in your ways to do that. And she said, but you probably won't be able to do it. But what I didn't know, and I found out years later, that this was an assignment that she had as part of her internship to use reverse psychology on a patient. And it actually worked with me. So I am in her dissertation or whatever as a patient that she used it on. So I'm proud to tell you this story because it's mind-blowing. So I have this high A1C. I'm well over 300 pounds at the time, and probably 350 pounds, I would say. And just to give you a perspective, at that time I was about 5'10". I say at that time because I've shrunk during my old age. I'm about 5'9.5" now, so I lost about a half inch. So she told me, she says, you could change this around, but it's going to take some diet and exercise and changing your ways. She said, but I tell that to so many people, and usually they don't listen to me, and they wind up getting on insulin, and then eventually we have to cut off a limb, and and then eventually they just take medicine until they die. So I thought about what she said, and I was like, well, this Asian lady, who she thinks she is, telling me that, like all black people is like that. And I was really offended. So I came home and I prayed, and this was 2017. I came home and I was just like, you know what? I need to lose some weight. I was really too big to really think about exercise, but I needed some motivation even to get to that point. Sometimes, and I may be speaking to somebody who's like morbidly obese, okay? And they need to get to a place where they can even exercise. I know how that is because I was there. So I came up with a plan, and I started, and I had a show on TV 33 in Detroit called The Wellness Report with Helen. And I started this journey on TV, which was something else. You could probably catch some old videos of that on TV 33. They have a channel called The Wellness Report with Helen. And I started this journey in front of a lot of people. So that kind of pushed me a little bit to be successful. So I started with a ketogenic diet, which is not the healthiest way. And I wouldn't recommend that for anyone. But it was a start, and that's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes the way you start ain't the way you stay. Okay, so that's the message here. So I got on this ketogenic diet, and I didn't eat nothing but, kind of like veggies, and I kind of was like on a dirty keto diet. I kind of ate processed foods still and ate vegetables. Well, anyway, I lost 20 pounds. So I went back to my doctor, and I told her, I said, Dr. Sheet, I said, so what do you think? And she was like, oh yeah. She said, you lost 20 pounds. She said, that's really great. She said, but lots of people lose 20 pounds and then they gain 40 back. I said, what? She said, you need to make this a lifestyle and not a goal to lose 20 pounds. She said, I'm not saying that I'm not happy about your success. She said, but you need to change forever. She said, because you've been the way that you've been forever. So I was like, wait a minute, I gotta go back to the drawing board. So then eventually keto stopped working for me. So I thought about what she said, and then so I started learning, well, what is the reason that I struggle with my blood sugar in the first place, and learning about diabetes. And what I learned is that the standard American diet, SAD, which is the acronym for the standard American diet, I learned that teaches you to, if you're a diabetic and you're on a diabetic diet, to eat more frequently and have 6 small meals a day. And I remember my dad, who was a diabetic, used to tell me that that's the worst thing that they could tell a diabetic, is to eat more, because every time you eat, it spikes your insulin. That's the only time your insulin can go up, is in the presence of food. So I thought about that, and I was like, so the more you eat, the more your insulin spikes. Now here they are telling you to eat 6 small meals a day, but I got a problem with my blood sugar. So then when you when you pull up something on the internet, you send you something, and then I start seeing everything about intermittent fasting. I start seeing videos from Dr. Berg and different people that promote intermittent fasting. And so I decided to try it. And so it was very, very difficult, I'm going to be honest with you, because I was a foodie. I ate all the time. But I realized that the more that I tried to have control over my food, the more that it wouldn't have control over me. So I was determined. So the first year, I lost 50 pounds. So I got like under that 300-pound mark. So I was really excited, and I thought about what my doctor said, and I said, this has to be a lifestyle change. So this has to be something that I do for the rest of my life, not just to lose weight. So I stopped getting the scale out of my mind and saying, well, I need to lose weight. And I started saying, well, I need to be healthier, and I need to live longer for myself and for my family, and change my mindset about weight overall. So, and I'm telling you this story in my journey, because I'm still not I'm never going to be through with my journey, even if I get to that whatever number that is. I don't really have a particular number because I don't think about weight. I think about health. And so after that, I lost 50 pounds. I was motivated, and that kind of gave me that push to continue the journey. And so I kept seeking. And so I went on different podcasts and was guest on shows because I had had some success with fasting. So I did an 8-hour window, 16-8 forever. You guys can look up all these terms for intermittent fasting. So basically, I fasted for 16 hours and I ate in an 8-hour window. Whatever that looks like to you. It could be 8 to 5, you eat. It could be, whatever, 11 to 7, whatever. And then I slowly changed it. And I shrunk that window down to eventually I went to one a day, 1 meal a day. It's called OMAD, I think that's what they call it. So I went to 1 meal a day, and that's where I am now. And sometimes I've done 3-day fasts. I do like a reset. I would say maybe a couple of times a year, I'll do a 48-hour fast. The longest that I recommend is 72 hours without food, and I just do water. But sometimes I switch it up. I make it interesting. Sometimes I do all fruit fast for 3 days. Sometimes I do a liquid fast for 24 hours. Sometimes I do just water. So in this lifestyle, I've learned that you've got to be flexible. And you got to do things that are realistic. So sometimes if I know I'm going to travel, if I know that I want to eat something that I really enjoy, usually once a day is fine with me because I only need 1 meal a day. And I'm going to tell you what the blessing has been with 1 meal a day for me. The blessing of 1 meal a day is that when you're traveling, you know exactly what you ate in that 24-hour period. I can tell you exactly what I ate yesterday. I can tell you exactly what I'm going to eat today. I know that I had a latte and whatever I eat for dinner. So if I were to get sick, I know exactly the source. So I won't return or repeat that because something happened. You know what I mean? So that's the benefit of fasting and not eating as frequently. And it's so much power in that I have power in having control over what I eat. It makes me feel strong. I know exactly what's in my belly. I eliminate all of my food every day because I only eat one time. So it helps, it's better for your digestive system. If you're just pumping your body up with food all the time and you're constantly eating, when does your digestive system have time to work and to take a break and to rest? And another thing is liquids matter too. So it's not just what you eat, it's what you drink. So you need to make sure that you reset, you give your body liquids. And that's not always water, but I drink coconut water. Coconut water, it has magnesium in it. And so that helps you with your digestive system as well. And it helps you with hydration, which is very important, especially when you walk as much as I do. So that has been something that I've learned, and I'm glad I'm recording this live because I think it's a lot of nuggets in here and a lot of things that can help people, especially if you're someone that struggles with your weight, which I have struggled with my weight all my life. I continue to, but I'm going to tell you one thing that has changed about me. I don't worry about the number on the scale. I worry about how I feel. I am very healthy, and I'm probably healthier than a lot of people that are at their ideal weight. That's because most people don't walk 7 miles a day. Most people don't have the control to only eat once a day. Most people don't drink 40 plus ounces of water a day and eat fruit and whole foods every day. And most people don't practice this daily. you know. So if you're a person like I am and was that struggle with their weight and struggle with dieting, stop dieting. Because it ain't gonna do nothing for you. It'll help you get into that dress maybe for your wedding or your daughter's wedding. It'll help you to lose weight for a specific event, but it won't help you long term. And it won't help you with your lifestyle. And I'm concerned about being healthy for the rest of my life, not just for an event. So if that's something you're interested in, I can definitely continue to talk about that and being healthy. A lot of people don't want to listen to people that's in their journey. A lot of people that don't want to listen to people that's 200 pounds and still trying to lose weight. But I can tell you that I've lost well over 100 pounds. And for you to do that, oh, another thing, I make a goal every year to lose 10% of my body weight. And I have kept that goal for 8 years. So every year I have lost 10% of my body weight consistently, sometimes even more. But I make that a goal so that even though weight is not the issue, it's the only term of measurement that we have. So I make sure that I'm staying on track so that I'm getting healthy. Because the more weight you have, it surrounds your organs. And so you want to try to get rid of it. That's why I don't have a lot of belly fat. You know, I don't know if you can see me. Let me see if I can stand up right here. And that matters. You know, you don't want to have a lot of fat around your stomach because that's where your vital organs are, all of them. So fasting is the best way to get rid of belly fat because when your body is fasting, it eliminates that. And so that is probably one of the best benefits of fasting is the autophagy phase. And you can look up all of these words because I'm no specialist by no means, but I just learned as I went. But autophagy is the body's ability to eat off its own fat. Okay, so your body eats its own waste. Okay, so you got good cells and bad cells. So the autophagy phase allows your body to eat all that junk that's just sitting there, bad fat. So that makes you leaner. So that's why, even though I'm a big person, I'm more solid. I'm not really flabby because during that fasting phase, when you get to, I would say, hour 16 through hour and beyond, we'll say, because some people fast more than 24 hours. So hour 16, starting with hour 16, that's when the autophagy phase kicks in. And that's when your body starts eating off its own fat. And what that means is all of that flab and excess skin, it's eating it for you. So when you have the absence of food, it allows your body to do some miraculous things. And it eats off itself. So that has helped me to not have a lot of excess skin. And people tell me, they say, well, you lost a lot of weight. How come you don't need no surgery? I'll be damned if I have some surgery for my skin. The only person got to see my body is my husband, and he absolutely loves my body. So thank God for that. And I do too. If you're looking for a way to, that's why when people have like weight loss surgery, and I'm knocking that, but that's why when people have weight loss surgery, that's not the only surgery they gotta have. They gotta have surgery after that because that excess skin doesn't have time to rejuvenate, and then it leads to other problems like edema and different things like that. When you have big ankles, I got kind of skinny ankles. I got skinny ankles. You can see. Almost fell. But yeah, so, I'm just saying that those are some things that autophagy phase does for me, and maybe it could do it for you. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, if it wasn't for me losing over 100 pounds, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to do this journey. I really don't see a lot of obese people here in Asia. And I often say that obese here or plus size here is anything over a size 8. And I'm a size US 14. So I'm considered like obese. But it's actually a lady here that's European. And she's in this coffee shop with me now, and she's very, very obese. And a lot of people have been looking at her. And I think that that's the case when you're over here. It's like, it's not the norm. So I say that to say that if I was still 100